So, Guild Wars 2 is a thing. Let's talk about it. But first, let's put some context as to why this is happening now and why I'm so late to the game. I realize, yes, Guild Wars 2 launched some time ago, and the fact that I'm just checking out now is going to infuriate some people, but let's talk about the reasoning behind this and how my impressions are of the game so far. So yes, Guild Wars 2 launched some time ago. I played during the game's beta prior to launch, and I played it ever so briefly during launch. Why did I not keep playing it? Did I not like the game? I don't think that was the case. I think it was more a fact that, you know, there's a lot going on at the time, specifically here with the channel. There's a ton of different games that I was focusing on, covering, and playing for the channel. And I didn't give it its due diligence. I really didn't put in the time, effort, and energy to really get a good feeling for what Guild Wars 2 was all about. I'd gone through the opening experience, leveling up a character from like 1 to 10 a handful of times, but I never really progressed beyond that. And now I'm at this point where I'm thinking about what's coming next for the channel. And I'm thinking about the stuff that I enjoy covering and the stuff that I like to put a lot of time into. And if you know anything about me and the type of games that I enjoy, while I enjoy a whole array of video games, from first-person shooters to platformers to puzzle solving, real-time strategy, there's a lot of different games that I enjoy. But what I love the most are RPG games, and specifically MMORPG games. We're talking about knights and wizards, demons and dragons, the high fantasy sort of, I am this powerful character, I'm going to slay these demons, I'm going to do this with people, I'm also going to fight against people. Those are the things that I really love when it comes to having a game that I can really dive into. And so for the next generation, for the things coming up, I'm specifically looking at things like, Elder Scrolls Online, WildStar, EverQuest Next, even games like Destiny and Star Citizen. Like, these are games that I'm really looking to spend a lot of time with. But I want more context. I want more of an experience with the genre, with the MMO space. And I know, Star Citizen and Destiny don't really fall in line, but the point is there's some games out there now that I wanted to spend more time with because I think I would enjoy them, and I'd also like to have that experience as I bring it forth into the next generation so that I can have some touching points, I can compare games and talk about what I like and don't like. So all of that is all the context. It all resulted in me saying, Guild Wars 2 has gotten a lot of praise. I don't feel like I spent enough time with it, so let me reinstall. So I reinstalled Guild Wars 2. I spent a couple of hours with it last night before bed, about 2 to 3. And then I woke up this morning, and the first thing I did, well, I ate breakfast, drank some water, and then I said, I really want to play Guild Wars 2 again. So I sat down, and before I know it, 5 hours passed. And I said, holy crap, this is terrible. Well, I mean, it's good because it means I like the game, but it's terrible because, good lord, my time management skills are the pits. So I spent a bunch of time with it over the past 24 hours, and I'm really, really having a great time so far. And what I wanted to do here in this video is sort of talk with you guys about Guild Wars 2, and also get some feedback from those of you who have experienced the game. Whether you're someone who played it for the first month or two after the game's launch and then stopped, or if you're someone who's been consistently playing the game, going through all of its updates, it's fairly consistent updates, and there's supposed to be this big living story that's a big part of the end game, and then we're talking about the big realm versus realm stuff, all this sort of things. How do you feel about Guild Wars 2? Again, so far, my initial impressions in the past 24 hours, I've put, I guess it's been about 8 hours in, and, this initial 8-hour experience, and in MMO terms, that is very brief. It is ever so brief, but compared to other games, if I were to tell you I've played a game for 8 hours, you would say, oh, you know a lot about the game. While I don't know a lot about the end game in Guild Wars 2, I do feel like I've got a good grasp of things like the combat and just, well, the leveling experience specifically is the only thing that I can have a grasp of because that's the only thing I've experienced. And this early game level experience, the world that I'm in and the storytelling and all of that stuff, it's been a lot of fun, and it really has, as evidenced by my lack of self-control this morning, it really has pulled me in and really has me quite intrigued. So I'm enjoying what I'm playing so far. I'm looking forward to seeing how the story unfolds and how the rest of the leveling experience continues to progress, and then hopefully I'll be able to get some experience in the end game. Now obviously, I can't experience the end game in every single MMO because who the hell has the time for that? And especially with me running this channel and all the different games that I cover, just finding the time for 1 to 2 MMOs and trying to do the end game of both of them, very difficult and probably not even possible. But right now, I'm loving it. I'm focused on it. I'm excited to continue to play this game and have some fun with it, as I have been having so far. And I want your guys' input. I want you to let me know what you think about the game. Like I said, whatever type of player you are, however brief you played, however long you've played, how do you feel about Guild Wars 2? How do you feel it stacks up to current day MMOs? And how do you feel it's going to stack up to the upcoming MMOs, like the EverQuest Next, like, you know, Elder Scrolls Online and WildStar? How do you think these games are going to match up when compared to each other? You know, I'm again looking forward to continue this experience so that I can make that informed judgment when the time comes. It's been great. It's been great. I'm really excited. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated, however this unfolds. If I stop playing next week or if I continue to play for over the course of the next month or two, you guys will get updates from me and potentially some content. Although being a huge noob, who wants to watch content from me? I know nothing about the game. All right, guys. Also, any tips and hints? Please let me know. I'm playing a warrior. I've been using the greatsword as well as a one-handed sword and shield. I've been liking it so far. I've been told range can work really well. I've also been doing crafting with the armor smithing and weapon smithing. I read on the forums that can be difficult to do at the same time because there's a lot of components that, you know, are required for both of them, and leveling them up together will just be very expensive and very difficult to do. But then I looked up the super epic great sword that required me to have both of those, and I said, well, that's what I'll do because hell, I want a super epic great sword. All right, guys, that'll do it. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to chime in with your thoughts about Guild Wars 2. It's a thing. It's a fun thing. I'm enjoying it. If you guys like the content, please subscribe, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.
I'm glad you were nearby. I was knocked out by those catapults over there. Can you destroy them?